Ladies and gentlemen, if there's a human reviewer at YouTube, I'm abiding by YouTube guidelines and policies. I'm reading from reputable sources, and this is breaking news. This is a Business Insider article that's also, it's a Yahoo article I'm reading that is actually a business, first published in Business Insider, and it's also on Yahoo News. The Arizona State Senate had to be evacuated. Okay, hundreds of protesters outside the government building in response to the SCOTUS decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. Gee, where have we seen that before? Where's the outrage? Again, I'm abiding by YouTube policies. This is a Business Insider article, Yahoo News. It's happening right now. Where is the condemnation from Democrats? Where's Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger? Where are they? Okay, I condemned what happened that day in January, but does anyone condemn what's taking place now? The Arizona State Senate Republicans said the Senate is secure, but smoke and gas spread into the chambers. Senators had to relocate to another area of the building to finish their session. Gee, where have we seen that? Is this are pro-choice demonstrators trying to destroy democracy? This is a government building. This is a session, a state senate, official government business where democracy exists. And guess now who's trying to undermine and destroy democracy? You lost in 2016 because you cheated Bernie Sanders. Then you got 3 Supreme Court justices that were conservative. Okay? And I support Donald Trump and DeSantis because I oppose Lincoln Project, Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld, never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts, military interventions, regime changes, all of those horrible foreign policy decisions that 2 sides of the same coin made, both President Obama and Bush before him, especially made the most horrendous, insidious decisions. I oppose that. That's one of the biggest reason to vote for Trump. That's the moral imperative to vote for a Trump Republican as opposed to a Democrat. When you vote blue, no matter who, you get this. You did this to yourselves. You cheated Bernie Sanders, and by the way, I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet according to the Huffington Post, and the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters according to the Washington Post. Now, at that point, I thought Bernie Sanders would actually do the same thing that Donald Trump did. Negotiate the Doha Agreement to end America's 20-year involvement in a terrible, terrible, never-ending counterinsurgency conflict. And mashed potato brains Joe, our president, completely botched that, but it was Trump that reversed 20 years of failed foreign policy. It was Trump that presided over the Abraham Accords. First president to step foot in North Korea, to begin détente between North and South Korea. A lot of things he accomplished in terms of foreign policy, economic policy, hundreds of thousands of new manufacturing jobs, GDP growth, inflation was 2%, gas prices were about $3, less than $3. And we didn't have food shortages, we didn't have supply chain breakdowns, and that's, again, you could thank Democrats and bureaucrats and experts, quote-unquote experts, that wanted to shut down and tank the economy 2 years ago. And they gave Andrew Cuomo an Emmy, Hollywood did. But anyway, where's Kinzinger and Cheney? Arizona State Senate building in Phoenix was evacuated on Friday. A video posted on social media by Republican state senator shows dozens of people protesting outside the government building in response to the Supreme Court's decision. Why don't you build like Andrew Sullivan eloquently stated on Bill Maher tonight? Go ahead and build coalitions. Convince people the pro-choice argument is better than the pro-life argument because it's now at the state level. And this is democracy. We have 3 branches of government, and the Supreme Court interprets the Constitution. It's not former ESPN anchors or MSNBC pundits or vote blue no matter who YouTubers. You did this. The people who told their viewers to just vote blue no matter who. It really doesn't matter if Bernie was cheated. You have to think of the Supreme Court. That's why you have this problem, or this problem from a liberal perspective. When you continually tell people, and by the way, really quickly, it's not just Yahoo. It's not just Yahoo. Arizona Daily Independent. Arizona Senate shut down by protesters. You have Newsweek. Arizona Senate Republicans say protesters try to storm building. Gee, where have we heard that before? Arizona Senate Republicans have said abortion rights protesters tried to enter the Arizona State Capitol on Friday evening as legislators were gathered on bills and proceedings were halted while the authorities handled the incident. Gee, where have we heard that before? Where have we heard that before? Members, staff, visitors evacuated to secure location. Law enforcement intervened. Protesters dispersed. Where have we heard that before? Where's the condemnation, Democrats? How about there will be no condemnation? Chaos, mayhem, $1 to $2 billion in property damage. That's okay, apparently. And I agree with the cause, but not the chaos, not the property damage, not the 19 lives lost according to Wikipedia that summer. But see, that's the way that's the way Democrats and media roll. If it's chaos and mayhem that suits them, no problem. No problem. But if it doesn't suit them, then that's a huge problem. Here you go for immediate release. Law enforcement prevents insurrection of state Senate while lawmakers conduct the people's work. Arizona Senate Republicans. Gee, when they said the press release Friday, June 24, 2022. There you go. And he talks about the same exact thing that Liz Cheney and Kinzinger and Democrats have focused on, trying to paint Trump as undermining democracy with his words. So we'll see how many, and there were also federal buildings targeted that summer. So I condemn that day in January, and in that respect, I agree with Cheney and Kinzinger and Democrats. Other than that, I don't agree with their hypocrisy. I don't agree with their duplicity, their disingenuous nature. Why are people silent? Because they like the chaos and mayhem when it works for them. FBI investigating attacks on pregnancy centers as potential acts of domestic violent extremism. Okay. So, the FBI is already investigating all of these, but they're going to just they're not going to go, almost certainly they're not going to be as interested in investigating as they would if it was, God forbid, organizations on the opposite political side. So, you have Newsweek, you have Business Insider, you have Democrats, interfering with a government session of state Senate, so state congressional hearing. And there are clashes between law enforcement, and you better believe MSNBC and CNN and the Washington Post and the New York Times won't cover it, or they'll barely cover it if they do at all. And that's the problem with our country. It's not a matter of, we don't like chaos and mayhem. It's, chaos and mayhem for our political purposes. If you're a Democrat, no problem. But chaos and mayhem, if Trump or Republicans are linked to it, very bad. Imagine if conservatives were linked to $1 to $2 billion in property damage. Could you imagine? And you cheated Bernie Sanders, he would have won in 2016. The man would have won in 2016. He would have been a terrible president. He would have just, if the Democrats said jump, he'd say, how high should I jump? And he would have implemented a Lincoln Project, Bush, Cheney, Rumsfeld foreign policy, never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. The man, he's probably a good human being, but he doesn't really have a strong backbone. He was cheated, said nothing. He would have won those three, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Comey couldn't have written a letter to sink Clinton's campaign. Anyway, An official government business was democracy was undermined tonight in Arizona. We'll see how Democrats Liz Cheney and Kinzinger react to that. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, Andrew Sullivan made a great point, and it's what I've been trying to say all throughout yesterday. They did this to themselves, but one thing he didn't talk about is that Bernie Sanders was cheated. Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign. End of story. They cheated their only chance to defeat Trump. I stated in the Huffington Post, the Hill Salon, NPR quoted me, I said Clinton will lose. Nobody listened. And they then lost. And at that point, it was a populist moment in American politics. Bernie Sanders would have won. And had they not cheated him, he would have won the primary. But they cheated him. And Elizabeth Warren, Donna Brazile, admit that. Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign. 3 other Democratic officials were fired. And it just look in the mirror, Democrats. Not the Republicans' fault. It's not Trump's fault. And conservatives owe Trump a debt of gratitude forever. Forever. And Democrats also did away with this with the 60-vote supermajority, and it was a simple majority. So they ended up getting judges that were even more conservative than they would have gotten had they left. I think it was Harry Reid that did away with the 60-vote supermajority. Anyway, for nominations. Amy, give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now.